Hello everybody. How are we all doing this fine Sunday evening? I am still trying to get my shit together, so bear with me. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Evening Jack, how you doing? Come on. Furiously clicking away at stuff at the moment. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Let me know if you can't hear me at all. Or if there's any problems with the audio. Hopefully there shouldn't be though. It has been a little while since I've done this, so bear with me. And there we go. That's that done. Cool. One thing down as we watch the McLaren thunder round this track. Just a couple others. Lovely livery air from Rob. Evening Birdie, hope you're doing well. Hopefully you can hear me alright. I haven't heard otherwise, so hopefully I am not just talking to myself at the moment. Although I can probably guess that I am, if I'm honest. But hey, we'll see how it goes. Whoa. Second thing to do. Good to hear, Birdie. That's what I like to hear on a Sunday. Doing what I did last night. Where am I going and what am I doing? How long we got? A couple minutes. Sweet, thank you, Birdie. So yes, everybody, welcome to this opening ceremony is what I'm dubbing it. Of the Season 4 of the GR4 League. Hopefully everybody is in fine spirits this evening. Look at that thing. Love it. Oh, bit of a sideways there going through the first couple corners for the Aston. Yeah. Not sure how you're going to do that, because what is it? It's coming, I'm guessing it's coming up, well, coming up to 11 o'clock? Where you are, Birdie? I think, anyway. I thought it was Jack. I think we don't have any other team using the Aston, so fine by me. Good battle between the two, what would be former teammates at the moment. Bear with me 1 second. It's going to be a couple minutes delay just while we're sorting things out. Should be starting in about 4 minutes from now, just while I get a couple of things sorted. Cool, right, that's one thing done. Shut up, Sean. Already explained, be starting in a couple minutes. Knew there'd be one. Evening, Tamaya. No, TT is officially banned for this league, Birdie. Just catching on the chat there. Yes, the TT is officially banned in the chat, in this league setting. So there's no front wheel drive cars, and there's no four-wheel drive cars. So the ones that they have to offer from are all of the front wheel, the rear wheel drive front engine cars, and the MR cars that were not used in last season's Gr4 league. So I believe that includes the Alpha, the NSX, McLaren, cars like that. And then we have the glorious one make. That will be the second part of tonight's activities. And with that, we will be going live with qualifying in about 1 minute here as we get to 10-2. Starting a little bit later just to make sure people actually do get in the lobby for tonight. Let's just have a quick check through who is in the lobby at the moment. So let's have a quick look. So we have Gad, Danny, Jack, Rob, Wrighton, Jace, Sean, Nick and Mikey in the lobby tonight, so it should be a good show and a good opening ceremony. We have decided just to postpone the league for a couple more weeks, just due to the fact that it's Father's Day today, so not everybody can make today, and as well I am actually going to be having my birthday week next week, so not quite sure what I'm going to be doing with my time next Sunday, so I thought best be safe and just make it postponed for the first couple of weeks, then we'll get everything sorted and start, I believe it's the 4th of July when we actually start the league, so all look forward to that. Evening Rob, evening Mew, evening Tamia as well, and with that, let's get this underway. Hang on. I cannot see anything. Where am I going? Where is it? I am blind. Wow, I really am blind. What the hell are we doing? There we go, fucking hell. There we go, that's what I wanted. Good luck everybody. Let's begin. So this first race, it is going to be a 25-minute race with 5 times fuel and 5 times tyres, as we see everybody coming out the pits, and I've strategically done it this time around so that because Interlagos isn't actually on the calendar for this season, so this is going to be completely new. It's not going to benefit anybody in any way apart from getting used to the cars they're going to be driving this season. That is purely the benefit of tonight. So 12-minute qualifier to start, then after that we will be having a 25-minute endurance race, and then after that there's going to be a sprint race for 15 minutes as well. So you see a bunch of the guys coming across here, great to see, and I will definitely be making some thumbnails out of this, which would be really good fun. So as you see all of the guys coming through the glorious S's of Interlagos. As you see the first guys coming up to the first corner. Let's look to see who the first guy will be. Jack looks to be the first one coming out onto the pit straight, closely followed by Rob, then Mikey, then Jace, then Wrighton just coming out the last corner as well, Danny coming around the last corner, and Gad the only one in the pits as well with Sean. So you can see a couple of guys actually coming into the pits there as well to switch off of their medium tyres and going on to the softer tyres for qualifying. So it'll actually be Mikey who will be setting his first time here today. Yes, Mew, that is correct. Nobody actually will be harassing me, especially that shed dweller this time around. I was looking on the how old that stream in particular was, because it's in one of my liked videos, and it's over 3 years old, that stream on Gran Turismo Sport that Jimmy did, which is pretty mental. It's over 3 years ago, which is a very scary thought. I was 18. I was 18 when I was racing him. So as you can imagine, at the time I believe Jimmy, he had about just made it to 50,000 subs, I think, at that point, and then he made it to 100,000 later in the year. Really is mental. As we have the first guys coming around the final corner, looks like Jace has managed to catch Mikey over the course of this lap so far in the glorious purple Citroen. So he might actually be benefiting for some draft over the McLaren in front. Mikey comes across the line to have the first time of the day with a 1:38.9, and Jace comes across the line as well with a 1:38.6, very close to Mikey's time there as well. Two very quick drivers. Wrighton comes across the line now, third driver to come across the line, set his fastest lap with a 1:39.2. Quite close between these guys, only 0.6 of a second separating all the guys so far. So it should be a really good test around probably one of the most balanced tracks in the game, to see how everybody fares in this first race. Just coming over the 8 minutes left of this qualifying session. Looks like a few of the other guys have pitted in for their second tyre stops, and fuel and tyres are on for qualifying as well, because I just wanted a little bit of flavour, really. So if people want a fuel burn, go right ahead, but it's going to cost the tyres to do the same. So just keep pounding around the track, get as many laps in as you can, go into the pits, fresh set of tyres, should be grand. Because I think this way, having it with tyre and fuel on, it you don't want you don't want to exit out and go straight into the pits to set another lap, because it'll reset your fuel and you'll be slower. Apparently Gard is stuck in auto drive. As Jace comes across the line to set a new fastest lap with a 1:38.3, overtaking Mikey during his lap. Wrighton pulls into the pits as well. I believe, who was that coming across the line? I believe was it Nick came across the line. He set his first fastest lap. His best lap was a 1:39.6. Jack comes across the line, as well as Rob goes quick as well, a 1:37.7. First person to go into the 1:37s. Jack coming across the line with a 1:39.1 as well, to put him into fourth place provisionally. Rob setting the times alight again, over half a second ahead of Jace. The hum of that M4 blasting around, coming into the second sector of Interlagos. Jack in the Aston right in front of him. You can see right in there, coming around the fourth corner, getting a bit squirrely there, coming up the hill into the middle part of the lap. Hits the apex beautifully there of the double right-hander, braking hard coming into the S's sections. Jace makes his first pit stop of the day. Mikey comes across the line to better his time with a 1:38.7. Manages to move slightly closer to Jace in front of him, but not enough to move any positions here. As you can see, there's a couple of guys coming around final corner here. Jack and Rob coming across the line. Rob actually pulling in the pits. Let's see what Jack manages to do this time around in the Aston. Unfortunately, doesn't manage to improve this time around, and it will have to take some doing, because it was a 1:39.1 he needs to beat, only a second off of the leaders. Nah, that's fair enough, Mew. As I say, Mew, if you want to hop in as a sub, honestly, feel free anytime. Jack almost getting wide there, coming out of the double left-handers. using as much of the track as possible. Just about gets the second apex before the S's here. And it looks like Jace is staying in the pits for now as Rob comes out of the pits, not wanting to get in Danny's way. And to burn as much fuel as possible. So 1:37.7 as well from Rob, as Mikey goes quicker again by another 10th. Still maintaining third place and just chipping away at Rob and Jace's time there, as Nick also comes across the line there. Let's have a quick look at his time. He just pulls into the pits as well. Interesting to see from these drivers. Rob just giving himself some breaks there, just ensuring that he doesn't impede himself or Danny in any way. Coming out in the final corner there. Wrighton moves up the field there, manages to get into 4th place with a 1:38.9, managing to scrape into the 38 and putting him ahead of Jack. However, Jack is currently in the pits to get a new set of soft tyres. It's will be interesting to see if he can get round for another lap. It looks like he should be able to. Interesting as they come now to the end of this qualifying session, how quickly can these guys go on as little fuel as possible. Here, right, coming around the final corner, using as much of the track as possible. Let's go for an onboard shot. As it looks like Gard has had to leave because of the auto drive there. If Gard makes it back in, we will restart for Gard, if he does manage to make it back in. Let's have a quick look to the rest of the field now, as you see Jason just coming out of the S's. He might be able to get one more lap in after this, although it is going to be close as he comes across the line. It is deceiving how long the pit straight is at Interlagos. As he slows down coming up to the line, that looks like it's going to be it for Jason, as he is on the medium tyres, just to ensure he gets the medium tyres on for the start of the race. Rob coming through the S's now, looking to be on a fast lap. Let's see if he manages to make any headway. As we say, somebody else coming around the final corner there, that is Wrighton. Just under a second separates them. Comes across the line, doesn't manage to go quite as quick as his fastest lap, just missing out by under a 10th of a second there. Really close time for Wrighton. He stays in 4th place for the meantime. However, you can see Rob coming around the pit straight. Will he manage to improve his time? No, he's off by 2/10 of a second. So you see Danny also coming across the line now. Let's see if he manages to improve. He doesn't quite manage to make it. Jack, let's see if he can improve as well. Coming across the line, no, he slows up at the line. Must have made a slight mistake. Coming into into the final corners there. It's unfortunate for him. So Gard, if you can't see this, I will restart for you if you are coming back into the lobby. As we sit here waiting for Mikey, who is the only one in the pits. This is most definitely Mikey's fault. There's no other way around it. So with that, I will introduce you to a couple of the teams that will be competing for the Manufacturers' Championship this time around. Looks like we'll just be continuing anyway. It looks like Gard has unfortunately been interrupted. I believe that might be the Father's Day curse today. That's why a lot of the drivers aren't here. But as I say, this is only a fun little championship, just a fun little opening ceremony kind of day, just to get used to the cars. So we are missing, I believe, so we are missing we're missing 2 teams in total, and then we are missing a few teammates as well. We're missing Rocket Man, who unfortunately couldn't make it tonight as well, in the other Stang, who's partnering with Wrighton this season, and we're also losing Julian, who's going to be Danny's partner in the GT86, as well as Rob as well. And we have Sean and Jib, who are going to be battling for individual points this time around, as we take a first look at the Grade 7 drivers at Interlagos. Five lights. Away they go. Big tyre smoke there from the Mustang, and it looks like the Citroen has managed to get away really well as Jabril moves up into the inside. Will he manage to take Rob into the first corner? Looks like he managed to just keep ahead, but will he keep it coming down the first straight? Looks like he's just managed to keep it in front there, but will the power of that M4 manage to come good? Jabril moves to the inside there, looking to defend his 9, and Mikey is looking to pick up any scraps that might be behind, as they have a small gap between the top 3 and the rest of the field. Very tight between these 3. Now Brighton in 4th place, who looks to be on the medium tyres. Jabril on the soft, Rob on the medium, Mikey on the soft tyres. He'll be looking to try and get away past Rob and make them soft tyres work for him. Wrighton also on the medium tyres in that Mustang, which means that thing will be very, very unstable in the corners compared to the rest of the field around him. And Nick on the soft compound of tyres in that McLaren, he will be looking to make up as much ground as possible. Danny on the medium tyres in that 86, and he will be wanting to get off of them as soon as possible with the added grip and tyre wear that the 86 will provide for him. And Jack also on the medium tyres in the Aston, looking to go the distance. So come here into the final corner. Just going a bit wide there, but Rob looking to just be in the slipstream of the Citroen in front. And you can see the power of the Mustang now coming into play. Managing to claw his way up to Mikey in the slipstream and leaving the other McLaren behind him in the dust. Wrighton just in a bit of a McLaren sandwich at the moment, but he is benefiting off the slipstream. As you can see, Mikey managing to get much later on the brakes even, into the first corner, and is now right on the back of Rob. Will Mikey look for a move on the inside here? Looks for a dive down the inside. So you can see, will he be better on the brakes? No, not quite managing to make it as Rob goes wide coming into the 4th corner. Mikey goes on the inside. Will he manage to keep it coming around the long left-hander just before the hill. Looks like he has managed to keep that there, and it's a good overtake for Mikey on the soft tyres. Now he can potentially push and keep ahead of the rest of the field now. To see Wrighton and Nick battling there in the background. Nick looking to make a move on the outside of Wrighton. Doesn't quite manage to have as much grip there. Wrighton defending the inside well and managing to keep the place from Nick there. And the Mustang looks to have good acceleration and traction out of some of these corners, so saying that he does get a bit squirrely coming out of the final S's there before the front straight. And now it looks like Gibble has managed to just claw a bit of a gap to the rest of the guys around him. You can see just how much understeer that Mustang is having in these medium tyres at this stage of the race. But does look to be impacting him too much, as he is managing to keep up through the straighter parts of the track, and you can see how much time he's gaining on the BMW in front. See Nick very much in the slipstream of that Mustang there, but not managing to make up any ground whatsoever on the straights. Wrighton also having a very good first couple corners there as well, managing to make the most of it and maintain a gap. Alright, no problem Sean, as I say, we'll get you in for the next one. Get you in for the one makes, don't you worry about it. Yeah, as I say, it's actually quite an advanced racing technique. With the wipers on, it actually pushes the air aside that goes over the car and actually gives it a bit more downforce and less drag on the straights. It's a very advanced technique, not many people actually know about that, to be fair. And Wrighton is using it well at this stage of the race. Rob just managing to pull out a little bit more of a gap, the M4 really making use of the tyres here. Around the middle sector of the track, has a lot more grip than that Mustang, but again managing to just claw it back on the exit of some of these corners here. The torque of the Mustang really coming into its own. Looks like it just goes a bit wide coming into the braking zone of the final corner. Both Wrighton and Nick going very wide there. Nick pulling up to the inside. Will he manage to have enough power in that McLaren to challenge the brute strength of that Mustang? Wrighton just with the nose ahead despite being on the outside. Nick might have to yield here. Will he try for a move down on the inside here? Keeping it clean going through there. Wrighton just yields to Nick there. Nick with a great move down the outside, going into the first couple of corners there. Great move by Nick, and hopefully he can push on the softer tyres now and manage to gap the Mustang behind him. Wrighton just makes a little mistake, but so does Nick. And they just lost a bit of time to the front runners there. Gibral out in front now, fastest time of the race with a 1:38.3 on the last lap from Gibral. Really good stuff from him, as he now wants to extend that lead just under 2 seconds to Mikey behind him in that McLaren. Mikey also in turn managing to gap that M4 a little bit more as well. The McLaren, a very solid and stable car, and also a very good all-rounder in this category as well. A lot more competitive than its GR3 counterpart. So he comes around the final corner now, clipping the apex perfectly, managing to get a good run out of the last corner here and using the speed of the McLaren to his advantage. Although Rob is managing the game, must have had a bit more of an exit on the final corner. And again, Citroen in front in that bright purple for Jason. Also probably one of the best all-around cars in the game in both GR4 and GR3. Can't really say anything that the Citroen does badly, to be honest, although it does use a bit more fuel compared to the other guys, but he is compensating for that and short shifting a bit, and you can see the rest of the guys around them not benefiting from that as much at the moment, as Gibral looks to be, along with Rob, the person with the most fuel in their cars at the moment. Rob only 3.5 seconds behind the two leaders though, as you can see. Really actually making the most of their medium tyres in the M4. BMW very strong around Interlagos here, as he does go a bit wide there, actually managing to miss the second apex up the hill section there, and you can see Nick behind him is actually managing to gain a bit of time on the softer compounded tyres. You can see right in there the Mustang really not faring well on them front tyres. Despite only being on track for 7 minutes now, you can see that actually the Mustang really does not fare well with tyres. But hopefully Wrighton has learned to put his brake balance to the rear of the car to try and compensate for the bad tyre wear on the two front tyres. But you can imagine how quickly the softs are going to wear on this Mustang, so he does have to go quite the distance in the Mustang in order to try and compensate for this. As you see Creasy joining in the lobby now. We shall quit out and he should be able to compete in the next race for the one makes in the Lancer. Oh, it looks like Jack going a bit wider. Yes, looks like he just missed the braking point there. Let's have a quick look at that coming into the first corner. So you can see there the power of the Aston in the straight line. Again, just the front tyres on these cars wearing as well. Very late on the brakes there, but also just getting onto the grass there. Really unfortunate for Jack, and unfortunately just going straight on at the first corner. Really unfortunate there for Jack, and he has managed to lose quite a bit of time for Wrighton, who he was battling there. But no doubt he'll be able to make up that time on the softer compound of tyres. You can see Danny in the background there, also on the medium set of compound tyres. And he should be very competitive in this later race. But look at the tyre wear compared to everybody else of that GT86. Magnificent tyre wear and tyre saving by Danny here, meaning he should be able to get onto the soft tyres a lot quicker than the other drivers and make up the time there. He should be looking to pick up a couple of positions later in the race as this goes. So we switch back to the front runners now. Rob actually managing to gain a little bit of time on Mikey here as we come up to the 15-minute mark of this race. 15 minutes left of this race. As you can see, the tyre wear of that BMW actually a bit better than the McLaren at this stage. Rob just losing out a bit of time to Jibril in front. But on the other hand, not too much time where he will be out of distance. He will be looking to make up that time back in folds on the softer compound tyres for his second stint, as it looks like the soft tyres may be starting to fall away slightly from the McLaren in front, as he is hemorrhaging a bit of time to Rob behind him. But still a very solid drive from Mikey in that McLaren. As I say, just having a pre-race interview with him, he doesn't say that he is too comfortable with the McLaren yet, as they did make the late change, both him and Nick, of the off-track overtakers. Did make the late swap to McLaren here, so we're just trying to find out and fine-tune the car and see where it does and where it doesn't work. In my experience, McLaren, again, very good all-around car, but it does actually favour the straighter tracks. It is quite a decent car in a straight line, but being a slightly heavier supercar in the GR4 class, it doesn't benefit quite as well through the corners as compared to the rest of the cars. You can see Rob there really closing up to the back of Mikey there in the M4, which has a lot more grip despite being on the harder compounded tyres. You can see Mikey pulling into the pits now. 13 minutes to go on this race, just coming up to the halfway mark on this race. And also with 26 litres of fuel at the moment. It looks like, is anybody else going to bite as well? No, it looks like everybody else is going to stay out for the moment. Mikey the only one coming in the pits, but look at how long this pit stop time is at Interlagos after the rework. Really is painfully slow now. But everybody will have to do this as well at some point, so it just means now Mikey will have fresh tyres, low fuel, to come out on track and hopefully make up the positions where he's fallen on them softer compounded tyres. But as we see here, Rob now over 5 seconds behind Gr4 in front. It's going to be quite an ask for Rob to try and make up this time. But again, we all know how the robot chameleon works. Again, you just see the grip's just starting to fade a little bit from the M4. Not managing to have quite the edge he had at the beginning of the race. Just hitting the apex nicely, but does just get a bit wide. There's another tiny mistake from Rob, really hemorrhaging the time yet again to Jason in front. Let's see if Jason does pull in the pits. No, he's managing the tyres very well at this stage of the race, and he's going as long as possible on that set of soft tyres. I have a feeling Rob might have actually wanted to pit there and try and go for an undercut on them softer compounded tyres, as Nick behind him takes the words right out of my mouth. But again, he will be going on to the medium compounded tyres, so it is the correct decision to go into the pits now, as he will start to be losing quite a bit of time, as Jack also now pits for his first stop of the race, and he will be going on to the softer compounded tyres now. It'll be interesting to see where Mikey is compared to these guys. He is coming down the pit straight now. See, Nick is in the pits. How much fuel will he take? Let's see. Have a look at Jack as well. He's just now pulling into the pits, so Mikey will come out ahead of him. There goes Nick now. Mikey just in front of Nick, as you can see coming across his screen there, but Mikey will be quite a distance ahead of Nick when he comes out of the pits. Going to be interesting to see how close the rest of the guys will be. I think a few of these medium tyre runners who were on the first stint would have wanted to pit in a little bit sooner at this stage of the race. And now Rob comes into the pits now. This will be crucial. Again, Jason just staying out for that little bit longer, but he is still gaining time on them laps now that the gap to 6.6 seconds. Again, Jason showing how much he can manage these tyres yet again. As you can see right now, he was continuing to go on these medium tyres now. I have a feeling he really should have pitted in. He is going to be losing a lot of time to the rest of the soft compounded tyres who are running in their second stint now. He will be losing a lot of time. Really think Wright should have pitted in before now, as he's not going to have a lot of time to make up on the softer compounded tyres now. As you can see, Danny now having a lot more grip, and look at the speed that he's managing to generate here. Again, Danny not wanting to jump the gun too much here, as Rob now comes out the pits, and Mikey has now actually jumped him in the pits. As you can see, actually, the undercut works beautifully for Mikey, but he will have a very, very tough job now. Both the guys on fresh sets of tyres, but Rob has the softer compound of the two, so it's going to be a great battle between these two at the end. But Mikey really putting the hammer down on these first couple of laps. You can see the fresh tyres actually working really to his advantage at the moment, and he's managed to get back ahead of Rob at this stage of the race. As you can see, Gr4 now finally pulling into the pits, and I imagine Wrighton will also be doing the same. 21 seconds behind Gr4. You can see how much time he's lost there by continuing on these set of medium tyres, and I unfortunately have a feeling he'll be now battling for the lower positions on this race. Danny now also pulls into the pits now, has a lot more fuel than Wrighton as well. Very good fuel saving techniques employed there by Danny in the 86, and he won't have to put in nearly as much fuel as the rest of these guys. As you can see, coming along the pit straight now, as you can see Gibble actually coming out of the pits now on 66 litres of fuel. So he actually has managed to underfuel quite a lot at this stage of the race. You can see now Mikey and Rob, as Rob actually manages to get ahead of Mikey coming down the pit straight. Very good overtake from Rob. Let's have a quick look to see what happened here. He actually manages to get past on the last corner there, managed to miss that slightly, so good job from Rob managing to actually make the move happen there earlier in the lap, and is now pulled out over a second as he sets a purple sector in the first sector. Let's see if he can gain any time on Gibble behind us. See Wrighton coming out of the pits now. He is in 5th place. He's unfortunately way behind Nick now at this stage of the race. The grid actually very spaced out in this stage of the race. As you can see, Danny now actually managing to jump Jack in the pits as well. Great stop by Danny as well, managing to actually overcut Jack. And coming out on top. Might have been a mistake from Jack, maybe. Very good drive from Danny on the first stint to jump Jack, and he's actually going to be on the softer compounded tyres at this stage of the race. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can actually make up any ground to the rest of the guys. It's going to be a very tall order. He is 7 seconds behind Wrighton, but it'll be interesting to see how much time the 86 will actually be able to gain on the same compounded tyres compared to the Mustang and Interlagos. It'll be very interesting now, as you can see. But look at the speed of both Wrighton and Danny now, as the time is now moved to under 6 seconds. The gap really coming down to Nick in front, who has been on them medium set of tyres for a few laps now. And he won't benefit as much from the grip, as you can see, actually losing a bit of time to Mikey now as well, who was also on the medium compounded tyres as teammates. But you can see as well how much time Rob has managed to gain on that fresher set of tyres. He is managing to chip away at Jason's time in front, but is it going to be enough? There's going to be a few more laps in this race, so it might actually be very close between these two at the end, but it'll have to come down to who can actually manage the tyres better and keep consistent laps in. But Rob coming across with the fastest lap of the race, or the 1:38.1, slightly quicker than what Jace managed to do earlier in the race. And you can see just chipping away at the leader's time here. Be interesting to see in a couple of laps where the time is as we come into the final 5 minutes of this race. Nick losing a bit of time to Mikey in front now. And you can see actually as well, Wrighton really putting the pressure on. As you can see, the gap is now down to under 4 seconds. Wrighton really using the extra grip of these tyres. But as much time as he is gaining right now, he's actually on a purple sector. An excellent lap time for Wrighton, really pushing at these late stages of the race. He really wants to try and get that 4th place and steal it away from Nick. And you can see Danny might have actually made a small mistake there as well, as he actually has managed to lose a bit more time to Wrighton in front. Jack unfortunately not managing to handle the medium tyres very well on that Aston, but again, learning curve at these early stages of the race, so it'll be interesting to see how the Aston, if Jack can make some of the rest of the races this season, how he will fare. So we switch back to our leaders now. Gibble just safe by just over 5 seconds now. A second Rob took out of that last lap compared to Gibble, and he's now very safe as he's now also almost managed a 5-second lead to Mikey behind him. So it looks like 2nd place might actually be secure for now, but you can see that Wrighton not managing to gain as much time this time around on this lap compared to the McLaren in front, but you can see just managing to use that extra grip of them soft tyres. Rob actually going a bit quicker on the last lap as well again, still putting in them fastest laps of the race with a 1:37.9. Hopefully he's not pushing it too much though, because the tyres will die out fairly quickly on all of these cars, so it'll be interesting to see. Interesting to see how much time they can actually gain for this. The gap now. Under 5 seconds to Jason in front, but over 5 seconds to Mikey behind him. Rob really making his presence known at this early stage of the championship, even on this open ceremony. Making his intentions loud and clear. So see now the gap reduced to just over 2 seconds there. This is the battle to keep an eye on, as there will be 2 more laps of this race. Nick looking at a bit of trouble here. If Wrighton manages to keep applying this pressure to Nick, it's going to be a very good battle here in the late stages of this race. See already the front tyres of that Mustang starting to make way, but the windscreen wipers really helping out there. Just pushing the air aside of that massive box of a Mustang. And you can see there that Nick just struggling on these medium sets of tyres. Using as much of the track as possible. You can see how much time Mustang gains there through the tight sections of Interlagos here. You can actually see Wrighton has actually gained a lot of time up to Mikey in front as well. You can actually see, I wonder if Wrighton managed to actually play his cards right, maybe pitted a couple laps earlier on these soft tyres, I wonder if he'd be able to challenge Mikey here. As you can see, Mikey now really feeling the effects of one set of medium tyres, the first one to jump the gun and go into the pits here. But let's have a quick look back at Wrighton here, really back on the back of Nick as he comes around. He's looking for a move on the outside here, coming into the final lap of the race, fastest lap of the race for him at 1:38 dead, very late on the brakes for Wrighton. Will he manage to make the turn? He manages to make it. He's going to be on the inside coming into the corner. Nick's still side by side. This is great racing from the two. Nick having the inside line and will defend his line coming down this back straight, really not wanting to give Wrighton an inch of the track here. Who's going to be the better of the brakes here? Ooh, bit of contact there. Wrighton just going on the grass. Nick really not letting him have any space whatsoever. Still side by side as they come up the hill now. Wrighton will finally have the inside line for the corner. Can he make the brakes count? Using the biscuit tins of a brakes on that Mustang. Managing to make it work. Slots it up the inside of Nick there. Really good work by Wrighton there on the final lap of this race. And you can see how much quicker that Mustang is round this middle part of the track. As you can see, Jack managing to come across the line there as well. Unfortunately, I think he just waited for the final lap of the race to come across there. But the first winner of the opening ceremony will be Gibril in the Citroen. Very good drive from him, managed his tyres excellently and comes across for the first win of this season. Rob coming across in second place, spinning it out across the line, destroying the tyres on the way through to take the second place. Mikey, great job from him as well in the McLaren, his first time out back in the championship in that McLaren. Very good podium position. Wrighton comes across the line with a great battle with Nick at the end, coming in 4th and 5th respectively, and a great drive from Danny as well, keeping it very consistent in that 86. Unfortunately not quite having the speed at this track in a straight line, but still a solid 6th position nonetheless. And a great clean race there for Jason as well. I still had a bit more fuel, fair enough. That's a bit unlucky there, Rob. But he will be able to make it up in the next race. So let's have a quick look. Let's load these ones up. So I believe because I can't actually make it a 12.5 minute race, bear with me 1 second just while I check my own rules, because I'm good like that. yes, it'll be a 15-minute race, because I can't make it 12, like I said in my chat, so that's fun. Rolling start. Why can I not make it based on previous result? It doesn't make any sense. Interesting. Can I reset this? No. Why can I not make it based on previous... Oh. Idiot. I'm good. Soft tires. Everything's fine. Everything else should be fine actually as well. For atmosphere. Sweet, everything should be fine for there. Right, let's get this thing going. I'm good like that. Ah, don't worry about it, Jace. Good to see you in the chat, buddy. Good win on the last one as well. So we now have a couple more competitors in this one. Don't know if Danny has gone out to get the Evo. So let's have a first look at some of these Evos then, shall we? So this is the second part of this championship, so this will still contribute to the points, same way as the first one. It will be, because it is a shorter race, there's not as many points available at this stage, but it will still matter greatly in the late stages of the championship, as there is still a smackingly good points haul up for grabs here. So you have Rob in the lovely looking red, white and black Mitsubishi Evo 10, sporting a massive Scottish flag on top of his car. Very nice to see as well. Ooh, now I like this. Pink and black. Good combo from Jason. He's actually sporting a bit of a Weeby livery here. Somebody is clearly a fan of Re-Zero. We have Sean in a very Subaru looking Mitsubishi, even though it isn't actually probably based on a Subaru at all, just with the different colours, with the bright neon yellow and the blue does look very similar to what could be a Subaru livery. Greasy in the wrong car. No, that was, I saw that entire battle between you and M3 guy writing. It was very good to watch. I have to say, it's a poor show from Mikey and Nick tonight, not having any liveries whatsoever. Not sure if I approve of that myself, but hey ho. Greasy now in the right car. lovely metallic orange looking car. Ooh, that is very nice actually. Simplistic but very effective. I like that a lot. Creasy is going to be Jed's partner for this season. But again, thanks to Father's Day, unfortunately we aren't able to have all the drivers here today. See Nick coming out. Lovely livery there from Wrighton as well. Definitely have seen that livery before, but it is a very nice one. Updated for this league, of course, but I can remember seeing that. I believe it was in the gallery. It's a Mike special, that one. Rob taking the quickest time of this quick bracket so far. 0.3 seconds ahead of Gibral. Sean coming across the line there, but unfortunately looks like he made a mistake on his first lap. Mikey coming out the final corner. Nick in the grey Mitsubishi. Where is Mikey's in the red one? Couldn't even match up with the same colours, guys, come on. Poor effort. Could at least gotten the same colour of stock Mitsubishi. DME. Quick check of the settings as well, just in case. See, I wish you could, because in the single player mode you're actually able to adjust the the length of space between the cars at the start. You know what? Yeah, it's set by host. Change grid order. So. Right, who's there? Yes. Cool, that's about right. Start in a couple minutes. let's go. It'll be interesting to see how many people can move through the field. At this stage, as I say, it is a rolling start for the sprint race. Come on, I want to see some flashing lights. Sean will lead the way. And here we go for the one make race. Race 2 of the opening ceremony. Creasy managing to get a really nice look at Sean going into the first corner, managing to stick it on the inside. Good start there by Creasy, just missing apex, just not wanting to make any contact, but manages to continue the run out of there. See if there's any other challenges further back in the field there. Looks like Mikey's being hounded by Rob already, as he just goes a bit wide there, gets a bit squirrely on the exit of T3. You can see now Sean looking for a move on the inside of Creasy, manages to dive it right up the inside there, managed to get the breaking point all wrong there, and it looks like, is it Nick who's going on the outside there? Really managing to take advantage of that, and Nick on the outside now. Will he manage to make it stick? Yes, he does. Great move there by Nick. Maybe the dirty tyres there not doing him any favours at this point in time. So it looks like Creasy goes wide and both Sean goes wide yet again. Maybe the dirty tyres really affecting him now. Rob managing to move up into 3rd place already. Mikey now back in 7th place. Not a good start from him. And Gibral also up into 4th. Not a good start from Creasy or Sean, as they have moved down in the field thanks to that contact at the first couple of corners there. Sean again just making contact again with Creasy there. As Nick leads them down into T1. Right now in the slipstream. Will he manage to make a move on Nick on the inside line? Just a little bit of contact there. Will he manage to make the break stick? Squealing there into the first corner. He managed to take the defensive inside line, but look at the move from Nick around the outside. Great momentum there from Nick, managing to keep that position. And now Rob is now on the attack as well. Wrighton doesn't quite see Rob on the outside. Rob has the slipstream heading down into T4. Wrighton looks to be slightly better on the brakes. Will he manage to make it stick on the defence? Yes, he does. Good defensive work by Wrighton there. And great move by Nick there to get the cut back and move around the outside there. Great move from him. You know what it is? I forgot to save the replay as well. Damn it. That's the thing I was wanting to do. Well, damn it. To ask after this race to see if anybody else has saved it as well, so they can share it. As you can see there, Rob really managing to hound Wrighton now at this stage of the race. Wrighton gets a nice run out of the final corner, but does use all of the track yet again coming out of the final corner. All of the guys in a tight pack here. Could be anybody's race so far. Wrighton yet again looking for a challenge on Nick. Will he move to the inside? He does move up into the inside. Will he manage to make it stick this time around? Hard on the brakes into T1. And he looks like he manages to make it stick this time around using all the track there. Coming out of T3 as well. Rob has the inside line. Ooh, a little bit of contact there between Nick and Rob. And it looks like Gibral's managing to come past now as well. Let's have a quick look at that. Gibral on the inside coming into T4. Hard on the brakes from the pair of them. Gibral manages to keep the place and move on the inside there. as they have the run up on the hill there. Wrighton again under pressure from Rob. Rob moves up to the inside there. Little bit of contact from the two drivers there. Wrighton looks to have the momentum on the outside of the corner. Rob hard on the brakes into the inner section though, and looks to take the place, sweeps around the outside of Wrighton there and moves up into first place. Wrighton looking to be a bit defensive here. Maybe a little bit of contact there between second and third place. Still a very, very tight group at this stage, and Rob looks to just try and move away. Ooh, a bit of contact there on the inside between Wrighton and Gibble again. Jason just running Wrighton out wide, not giving him any space whatsoever, and Nick looks to take advantage of that and move to the inside of Wrighton there. And Nick looks to have the run on Gibble now, coming into the first corner here. As you can see, still all of the guys nose to tail at this point. Gibble defends the inside. Nick looks to try and make a move on the outside here. Hard on the brakes into T1. Oh, a bit of contact there between Gibble and Creasy. Creasy just gets a bit too late on the brakes there. Does actually manage to make a place on Wrighton there, but the contact really hemorrhaged a bit of time between Nick and Gibble there. Nick still on the back of Gibble now, coming into T4. Will Gibble go defensive? He just looks to slightly manage that inside line, turning hard into it. Oh, a bit of contact there between Nick and Gibble. Gibble just going a bit too deep into the corner. Nick not anticipating it and just having a slight bit of contact there. It looks like Mikey and Wrighton now in the back looking for a challenge now. So it looks like Nick's managed to make a move on the inside of Gibble there. Oh, he has gone a bit wide through these S's. Creasy now looks to make a bit of a comeback here. Very, very close racing between the two. Creasy goes a bit wide. Coming out of the S's there. Mikey looking to capitalise now, as Rob now manages to just pull a gap ahead to the guys behind him. See now Gibble in the slipstream of Nick in front, but he is pulling the other guys of Creasy, Wrighton and Mikey with him, and don't forget Sean in the back there. Looks to be just a little too far off to be benefiting from the slipstream. Wrighton looks to move to the inside of Creasy but doesn't have the overspeed. Ooh, looks like Wrighton tries to make a move on the inside there but doesn't quite manage to have the runoff. Wrighton just goes a bit wide there, and both of these guys lose time. So it looks like Gibble's looking to try and set up a move on Nick again. Doesn't quite manage to have the speed. Both of the drivers go wide. That allows Creasy to catch back up behind him. Gibble moves to the inside, but then we'll have the outside line coming into the double right-hander. Hard on the brakes coming into there. Nick with the inside line just managing to keep it there and defending his line. Hard on the brakes coming into the S's now as well. Very good driving here from Nick today. Hugs the inside apex, not allowing Gibble any brakes whatsoever. Gibble just makes a small mistake there, losing a bit of time to Creasy behind him. So it looks like Sean has now managed to move up into 5th place. Mikey's just fallen a bit behind. Oh, bit of contact there between Nick and Gibble. Creasy again just looking to try and pick holes in this. Gibble really having the advantage now. Nick just blocking off the inside, but will it be enough? Gibble moves to the outside coming into T1. Nick looks to maybe just outbroken himself a little. Brake disc glowing red. The brakes being one of the best features on these Evos. Nick just again holds his place here. And just a little bump there as well from Jace, just reminding Nick that he is still there, as he is still all over the back of the grey Evo. Rob now with a to an almost 3-second lead over the rest of these guys. Nick goes defensive into the S's. Jib cannot find a way through, and Crazy is right behind the pair of them. As it looks like Ryan and Mikey's now having a battle behind, but looks like Sean's just made a mistake on the exit of one of the S's there, managed to mess up the braking point, and Mikey and Ryan go straight on through. Let's focus on the battle for second place now though, and the rest of the podium steps. Good exit out of the final corner there from Nick, but Jibble looks to have a much better run. Jibble takes the inside line, and it looks like Nick might be left out to dry in the slipstream here as Crazy now makes a move. It might be 3 wide coming into the first corner. Crazy still just managing to make use of the slipstream. Jibble defends the inside line coming into T1, who will have the better of the brakes. Again, just a little bit of contact between these two drivers, but nothing too much. Good lines there from all 3 of these guys. Crazy having a very good run out of T3 though. Coming on to the back straight, will Crazy try and make a move on the inside here? Jibble leaves the door open, Crazy doesn't go for it. Will Crazy try to get the cut back here? No, Jibble defends his line well. Great battle between these 3 at the moment. Will Nick try to mount a challenge here on the inside of Crazy? Looks like Crazy has the momentum coming round into the S's, hard on the brakes, sliding it through there, and lovely 4-wheel drift from Crazy there, managing to keep the position from Nick. These two can't battle too much. They do not want to lose sight of Jibble. If they lose sight of Jibble, he will be away for second place. A little bit of contact there between Crazy and Nick yet again, just losing a little bit more time to Jibble here. They really don't want to be battling too hard. They want to keep a hold of this second place. Hard on the brakes into the final corner now. Here, who has the best run coming out the corners? Jibble just makes a small mistake there, allowing Crazy and Nick just to keep within that slipstream, and that will be crucial coming into the first corner, allowing them just to gain that little bit more time. Mikey and Wrighton still going on behind it. Great battle between these two as well. Will Wrighton pull to the inside there? Wrighton doesn't want to go for the move just yet. Mikey just missing the apex coming into T1, but gets a very good line coming out of T2 and looks to have defended well coming into the back straight here. Crazy once again just using the slipstream to his advantage as we come to the last 3 minutes of this race. Looks like there will be an extra 3 laps of this race. Right on the edge there for both of the drivers. Crazy with an excellent run coming out the double left-hander. Will he try and mount a challenge? Jibble very defensive going into the second sector. Coming in through the first part of the S's, Crazy all over the back of Jibble now, just willing him to make a mistake at this point. Nick just hanging on behind, lurking and waiting for a mistake from the rest of these guys. Crazy just using a bit of time there to Jibble. But again, he will have time on the straights. It looks like Jibble gets actually a very good, nice run coming out the final corner. And crucially, he might have broken a slipstream to Crazy behind him. That's crucial for Jibble. It looks like he has broken the toe to third place behind him. That is crucial for Jibble now. He can now try and push on and try and maintain that gap to Crazy behind. Crazy with a much better run coming through the third corner. Right again, still all over the back of Mikey. These two, by battling, have just lost sight of the others, but a great battle nonetheless. Coming around the double left-hander now. defending very well from Wrighton here. Creasy actually managing to make up a little bit of time on Gibral, but Creasy needs to try and be in the slipstream range coming onto this final lap of the race. And it looks to be he's just out of it at the moment. He needs an excellent run coming out of the final corner. Will he manage to make it? And looks like Gibral gets an excellent run coming out of the final corner, breaking the slipstream behind. And things are looking now very nice for Gibral in second place. Now, coming into the last lap of the race. 10 seconds left of the race, coming across the line. This will be the final lap of the race right now. Right on the back of Mikey once again. Just willing Mikey to make a mistake at the moment. But if he wants to make up that place, he will have to do it on this lap. Has a much better run coming out of the first sector. Tucking back into the slipstream right on the back bumper of Mikey, as he has been this entire race. Pulls up to the inside. Doesn't quite manage to have the same level of brakes as Mikey there as they come up to the uphill section. Creasy again just making up a little bit of time to Gibral here, but it will require a mistake from Jason at this point for Creasy to catch back up here, but don't count him out just yet, as pressure is a marvellous thing. And Creasy is still right there. Excellent exit there from Creasy. Oh, it looks like Gibral actually goes a bit wide coming out the final corner. Will this provide an opportunity for Creasy? No, it looks like to be a little bit just too far back. Great drive from these guys though, as you can see Rob now coming across the line. Great stuff from Rob to take the first one make special here. Great drive from Gibral there, and Creasy to take second and third place. Nick managing to hold up the fourth place, coming across the line there as well. Mikey just hold off Wrighton at the end to take fifth place. Shauna coming across the line as well, unfortunately not managing to capitalise on the great start he made as well. Very unfortunate for him. Wow, even only with 7 drivers there, that was still an excellent show from all of these guys. Great stuff here. Really looking forward to the first race of the season now. Great race at the end there between them guys. Great stuff. Come on. Really good racing from everybody here tonight, and that is only a taste of what is to come from the GR4 Season 4. Really good stuff there from all of these guys tonight. And if that's what a 7-car grid is like, imagine a 14-car grid or a 15-car grid. But yes, really good. Definitely have saved the replay for that. So yes, great stuff here from all of these guys. Really put on a good show tonight and showed what the GR4 season is going to happen. Cheers, Nick. Thank you very much. There we go. For some reason them keys are the wrong way around. Yeah, I'm going to have to sort that out later. So, and yes, with that, I shall nah, don't worry about it. Wasn't the only one. I'll see what I can make do with that one. But yes, I shall leave it there. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. That was some good fun, really was. You know what it is? I had one job to save that first replay of the race as well. Ah well. GG all, and so for those of you that are wondering and that are still watching the stream, the first race will be the 4th of July. Hopefully all of our American guys that are in the championship aren't caught up with that date in particular, but for some reason all the dates in the next few weeks are a bit crazy, considering we're now on Father's Day, my birthday weekend next week, and then we have the 4th of July, so all of the American guys that are in the competition aren't affected by that either. But that's the start date we're going with, 4th of July, same time, lobby will be open, it's 7:30 GRT time for qualifying to begin at 7:45 or 7:45 in the evening GRT time. And I can't remember what the first track is, but it's in the Discord, feel free to have a look for those of you who are competing. And with that, we shall leave it there. Thank you very much for watching, guys. It has been a blast commentating for you all again, and very much look forward to doing it over the course of this season and hopefully many more. So with that, I shall bid you a fond farewell and catch you in a couple of weeks for the first round of Season 4 of the GRT Gr4 Championship. Catch you later, guys. Have a good night.